There is suddenly a blinding flash before you as the darkness is lit up by a monolith of perfect white porcelain that appears before you. It seems to stretch as far as you can see to the right, to the left, and as you look up at it, you can see the visage of the Matron of Raven on it, glaring down at you. You wish to stop running?
Yeah?
This is a path few choose to walk. The divine prophecy chose you, but that is not enough to become one of the wings of the Raven. To walk the path aside the living, you will be asked to forsake much. Have you the strength to walk such a path? One often barren, scarred, cold, and miserable? You see a reflection in the mask now. You see a man and wife, a small wolf pup by their side. The wife eventually fades away, the pup grown, becomes but a shadow next to the man who's now alone. You see two children, twins, grow up through hardship, join a group of 5 others, and you see the sister fall. The brother rises with raven wings, and one by one as he rises, the others all fade away. Champions of mine do not get happy endings. You must choose this, and in doing so, you recognize that your life is no longer your own, but it will be spent ensuring that others have a chance at endings they may not have a chance to choose.
In the end, none of us really get to decide how we end. It's just the end that happens, whether or not we want it to. No matter how much some may deny it, our souls are mortal. We're here, and then they're gone, like the passing of seasons. There's someone very close to me who is going to die, and there's nothing I can do about it. It's something that I never really had to consider before, being in a city full of elves that just seem to age like forever. But despite what some in my city of Venentia think, even elves eventually wither and die and turn to dust. If my life can have meaning, if I have like a purpose, I mean...
Then show me you have the strength to choose. And you see through the mask, like a window, you see Foamir embedded in the ground. And as you reach your hand forward, it passes through the mask as though it's just an illusion. Do you approach Foamir?
Yeah?
As you walk towards it, standing before it, do you reach out to grasp it?
Yeah.
As your hand gets close to it, you hear, Hermia? Your brother's voice echoes through the darkness. Looking over your shoulder, you see Leander.
Lee?
50 yards away from you, wandering around. Hermia, is that you?
Lee, what are you doing here?
I can't hear you. Where are you? Hermia, do you approach your brother or do you grasp Foamir? You hear the Raven Queen's voice again. Make your choice, Hermia Astoria.
Hermia thinks back to when things got all freaky in the woods, and how, like, you know, she heard and like saw things that weren't really there.
Mm-hmm.
So she considers this.
I will tell you, that feeling, that connection that you have to your brother, you feel it.
Is he dead?
That you don't know, but he's here.
Hermia's gonna talk to him. She's not gonna get close, like move from her spot, but she's gonna talk to him like he can hear her, even though he obviously can't.
Okay.
Lee, I hope one day this makes sense to you. But if I'm being honest, I think you've always known that even though we really tried our hardest to always be together, we were never meant to walk the same path. You left without saying goodbye that day, and I was so mad and upset at you. But I get it. Sometimes it just hurts too much to say that part out loud. That where I'm going, you can't follow. And where you're going, I can't follow after you. We have to make our own paths, and if destiny or chance or luck is on our side, maybe our paths will cross someday. But I can't continue leading a life where my whole existence is just following after you. I have to make my own choices, find my own path, my own reason for being, and it just can't always be to be with you. You can't live your life meaningfully if it's just tied to somebody else's existence, if you're always just seeing your life as through someone else's eyes. You have to see it with your own. So, goodbye for now. I think we'll meet again. And Hermia will turn back towards Folomir and walk up and attempt to pull him out.
And as you grasp the hilt and pull it free, Rosalind, you see the familiar sign of the black blade pierce from the center of the pool out. You see Hermia's hand covered in blood, and a torrent of energy, souls, begins to release out of Folomir and starts to swirl around the room up into that dome above. And Hermia begins to emerge, standing up in the center as though the entire pool is only a foot deep, completely drenched in this crimson liquid. And Hermia, as you walk back towards Rosalind and look down at your sword, it now glistens like a bright mirror. And you watch as each of these souls, one after the other, goes down into the pool, except for one that begins to swirl down over towards you and begins to rotate around the sword. The Trust of Winter explains that his place is with the others on the other side, but it seems to have a strong attachment to you here, Hermia. And you must choose to send it on or keep it here with you. But understand that the longer it stays here, the harder it'll be to make that journey later.
Is it my brother?
As you ask that to yourself, you're looking into Foamir, and you can see a reflection. You see yourself, except with icy blue eyes, frosted skin, and white hair. And you hear Leander's voice. Oh, I understand now. Hey, Hermes.
Lee?
Look at me, always trying to protect you. You aren't that little girl anymore. And I think I did you a disservice all those years as your brother. I just wanted to protect you. But once I was gone, you thrived. I don't know if this is what you want, but you've been spending so long looking for me. I think you need to stop. You have a different calling now. Hermia, you have the choice. You can send him along with the other souls, or you can keep him by your side in Foamir for as long as you're a champion of the Raven Queen. But you do understand now that all this time you've had your brother right next to you, fighting with you every step of the way. But it was you who was doing the fighting, not him.
So, was he Foamir?
Yes, he was.
Oh. Well, no one ever wants to say goodbye, do they? And I know you as Foamir in your grumpy ass voice would be like, Hermia, you don't need me. You have your friends, and you have your own inner strength. You can stand on your own now. It's always been you.
He smiles.
And you're right. I can't. No matter what happens, I'm going to have to say goodbye, whether it be today or tomorrow. We always think, if I only had more time, if I only had more time. But the decision and the feelings that are with it are never any easier. And I'd rather have the chance to say goodbye to you now, as you are the way I remember you to be. But I know in my heart, a piece of you will always be with me, and this isn't the last time we'll see each other. Whether this life or the next, I'll see you again, brother.
I love you, sister.
Always comes again.
I love you.
As does summer. I love you too, Lee.
And with that, you see his reflection in the sword vanish. And you watch as that soul descends into the pool. And in that moment, Foamir has exalted to its final stage.